Welcome back, y'all, to another episode of Hip Hop Babies.
Yes, sir. The
The baby's ugly. You know what I'm saying? The Hip Hop Babies, we are ugly. Everything is ugly, man. J.I.D, bro, God does like ugly. We're here, man. We're here. We're back in prime form for J.I.D. I felt like what we got last from him, his last album, Forever Story, was really like a more somber, introspective look into JID's life, his childhood, these kinds of things. This album, he's just going back to the basics. He's going bar heavy. He's working with everybody that you know he's worked with before. You got Earth Gang on here. You got Maribel on here. He got a damn choir chorus on here. Like, that shit was amazing, bro. Like, this album it's a statement, man. First listen, front to back, no misses for me. No misses. Still holds up. Month later.
Okay, yeah. I really like this album. I really enjoyed it. You know, JID, pretty much when J. Cole was really going hard on signing artists, JID is the one that caught a lot of people's ear. And there's a reason why. I mean, he's really talented. He showed a lot of potential early on, and it started to really come together. The Forever Story, I mean, even the Never Story, when he first started making waves, you know, we saw that he was able to do concepts. He was able to tell stories and do it over his own type of style. People compared him to Kendrick, especially way more back in that day. But I think those comparisons have kind of died down. And I think that's because, like I said, he's been realizing that potential. He could be wordy. He could change the flows. He could be crazy in your face aggressive sometimes, like Kendrick gets when he starts like going in at you, right? Like on DNA or something. But he does it in JID's way. And he really showed love to the South, and a lot of his inspirations on this album, I feel like, are just people he wanted to work with, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like those early day comparisons, right, is easy to do when you got somebody who's got a nasally inflection, very technically sound. That's gonna remind you of Kendrick, you know, even though they come from two different coasts and two different sounds growing up, they are just good rappers, you know, and they've very clearly gone different directions. And yeah, you just don't see those comparisons anymore because he is his own person. I mean, you brought up J. Cole. Like, he's so far removed from J. Cole. Last time that they were really working together was Revenge of the Dreamers, last Revenge of the Dreamers tape. He did say they might have, you know, a collab album on the way, but like, you know, like I'm not even thinking of them together anymore because he's his own person. Super bar heavy, one of the best technical rappers. I feel like he didn't miss a beat as far as like flow and cadence goes. Like, he is like just on point throughout. It's kind of crazy just how many flows and bags he can get into on this one project alone.
I mean, on a song alone, he'll switch it up. The beats will switch up to match his flows. I think it's dope that you know, he said in an interview that he wants to, you know, like we're saying, pave his own way. He doesn't always need to do the song where him and J. Cole were going back and forth. Get off my dick. They don't have to do songs where they're working together, because we know they obviously have some back and forth and support each other. Mm-hmm. He's been putting the work in, and this album is another great step. You know, there's some songs I like a lot more than others. Yeah. Earlier on the album, especially, you know, he does go into the loving yourself, dealing with some of the feelings of you know, moving forward in life and looking at some of the mistakes or looking at some of the things that happen in your life and loving it and people and you know, loving yourself, and even though, you know, certain things happen. K-Word was a powerful track with Pastor Troy. You know, the big word is karma. I just feel like with this album, like, JID, like you said, didn't really waste a bar, didn't really waste a beat. It just was some moments where, with the singing, you know how it is with me. I think he's good at it. I think he's could put together a song like that well, but sometimes it's not the best mood for me,
Yeah, I feel like that's just like the bumps along the way and making a conceptual album. You're not always gonna have notes that hit. And this album, like as far as like sounds go, is kind of like all over the place. Like you start the beginning with that really gritty intro from West Side Gun, just yelling at you. Beat drops, he's going stupid. It goes back down, gets quiet again, and then beat switches again. Like stank face for both of those beat switches. Like it was crazy what he was doing on there. And then you can get to the middle of it. You got songs like Skate with Ciara and Earth Gang, and that's like a little dance pop type ballad. Like he's doing something completely different.
Yeah, like skating rink vibes. Like they showing love to Atlanta. Talking about a bunch of spots that people go out and have fun at. I like that song actually. At first I was kind of like, it's weird. Like you said, it's kind of poppy, dancey, but I do think that it helps when the album transitions and starts getting into the more singy / vibey, talking about, relationships with women or, relationships with yourself in a certain way. Because then it picks back up after a few songs with on McAfee, I think, or McAfee with Baby Kia, who I'm not a big fan of, but he did a great job on that track.
Yeah,
I think their energies matched really well.
Yeah, no, they had some great energy, and that was maybe, if you're just looking at the feature list, that's probably like the oddest one out of there. It seemed like out of place, but no, like there was plenty of like high energy moments that JID had on this project. So I think he just fit in excellent. They had that little back and forth. It was perfect. It's just so funny, like the dichotomy between like that and then a track like Glory, like no swearing on there. I thought that was really cool that like he got the choir for it, and then they heard the song. They were like, we don't really want to co-sign this, like it doesn't really speak to, our spirituality and like what God does for us. And then he went back, rewrote the song so that it wasn't explicit and it was just bars, and then they put it back on, and thank God they did, because that shit's beautiful. Love the way that they pitch it down later and it kind of changes the beat a little bit. Lots of great beat builds on this project, man. My personal favorite is For Keeps. I love how For Keeps progresses. That was like definitely one of my favorite closing tracks of the year out of anybody. So
yeah, that was like the sample. It was the deep closer. We keep them going, whether it's family, friends, whatever, and how it's kind of came together at this point to a certain degree, right? And I do love that JID can do that. He can, even when he is all over the place, he knows, okay, this is my closer. Let me put it all together. Or, for example, he can have a song like Community with Clips, and that's like a rap track. He's talking a little stuff. I don't care about who's at the top, all this rap drama. I don't give a crap about this when homies are getting popped and stuff like that. And how he's coming for the top, basically, which, hey, people need to watch out, because he was going toe-to-toe with Clips. I mean, no malice, of course. Like, he did a lot on Let God Sort Him Out. He stole the show, at least, for me. He went off, but they all did a great job, and Community was a great track. But then you have What We On with Don Toliver, and that track grew on me as well. The hazy intro, you know how Don Toliver is. He's gonna set the mood, and then JID added to it as well. And I like that a lot. And he knows how to make those songs work together on the same album.
Yeah, it's crazy. Don Toliver, he's like Ty Dolla $ign. I mean, Ty Dolla $ign's also on this project, but like he is.
He got both of them on here.
Yeah, he's comparable to Ty Dolla $ign, where you can just get him to do a hook for you, set the mood, kind of, and it's gonna work every time, in my opinion. Don Toliver's just got it right now. He's got the cheat codes. Love that track, and then followed up with Wholeheartedly with Ty Dolla $ign and Black on there. Buddies were just not missing. It was really like you said. Like I felt like when J.I.D. was trying to match and do some stuff with like the singing is when I could see some misses, or when it slowed down a little too much. I felt like the second half of the album was just a little slow or monotonous at times. It felt like we got like such a high and then we got a really low, you know? And that's not a bad thing per se. It's just not how I would personally like the structure to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, for me, what made the difference between it being the top of the tops, at this point. It might change later. Some of these songs have already, like I said, grown on me, or like I've started to appreciate certain moments more, like on No Boo with Jesse Reyes. When he started singing in Spanish, and even before that, them singing and stuff. I thought that was a cool moment. Like, I'm not trying to, me, man. It's just sometimes I'm not in the vibe, especially when I'm trying to listen to the album and talk about it with y'all. It's not hitting, but then other times it is hitting. So I think that's what JID makes those songs for, because again, he's still cultivating his audience. So he's trying to appeal to certain people, but also do it within his audience, and he does that awesome. The singing tracks never, especially on I think the Forever Story, like Cody Blue or 21, like, he knows how to steal the show when he does, get into the singing emotional bag.
Do you feel like this album was made more like album front to back listen, or he was reaching for some playlist hits?
Ooh, that's a good question. I like that question. I do think it has more of a playlist vibe with some of these songs, because the Forever Story, a lot of times when I listen to it, it kind of blended in and it was just like it flowed, while this, like I said, after Skate and even before Skate, you have VCRs with Vince Staples, which was an unexpected collab, at least for me. I mean, maybe they've mentioned working together before. It was dope.
It was welcomed.
It was welcomed, of course. I love Vince Staples, and he did a great job. He's been killing the guest verses recently. I do think that having moments like that, and then having moments, like I said, with Skate, which I think could be on the radio, or you could play that, especially probably out in ATL, right? There wasn't that much of that on the Forever Story, besides maybe surround sound. And I think that was more so just natural. It happened. Mm-hmm. While this, I could see some of these, especially like maybe the one with Don Toliver, maybe the one with Ty Dolla, and those go right back to back. They flow into each other. So if you like that sound, you're gonna like that section.
Yeah, for me, there was not like the best flow throughout. I did enjoy my first listen. Like I'm not gonna act like I'm switching up now. I did enjoy it, but it just worked for me in that moment. So, maybe we've had a month with this. Maybe a month is not long enough. Maybe we do need some more time. And I definitely think that this project could see my top 10 list at the end of the year. I don't know how high it would be on there. Again, I need more time, but it could be on there. Like, the quality is there, man, and like the sound is just so crisp at times, and I do just adore some of these instrumentals, and just the way that he's playing with his flows and playing with the rhythm and stuff. Like, he is, like modern day Eminem at this point. I feel like Eminem has already passed the torch along. I don't know if you're still listening to him.
I mean, they did a track together on the Prelude album before this.
That's right. They did.
And he went toe to toe, or you could argue he was better than him. Eminem is gonna out technical ability you, but as far as the ability to rap fast or do that, but also say something, JID, I think at this point is better than Eminem, obviously.
Yeah, so he's got that same technical prowess, but like as far as who's making better music right now, it's pretty apparent who it is.
I just hope, besides surround sound, like I said, like I'm hoping he can find another way to reach more ears. Because I thought Work was an interesting single. Because again, I was like, what are you going for with this album when he dropped it? And it fit within the album. So, I mean, I think he has mainstream appeal. And he obviously gets love from the underground or like semi-underground hip-hop fans, So once everything comes together, I think I still see superstar or star potential in JID. I just think it's going to take that other hit. And I don't know if it's on this album, but I do see, and that's why I want to show this album love still, even though I'm saying it's not perfect. I do see it going that way. Because the Forever Story, people love that album. A lot of people were like, it's my favorite album of the year. So I feel like him following up with another great album and doing something not as conceptual, but not really missing the mark.
Yeah, I mean,
man, dude, you're good. You're good.
I feel like the concept just worked really well because, God likes, whatever we are. We're all ugly in our own way. We all do things that, we aren't proud of. But as long as you're faithful to, what you believe in, you're going to be rewarded. It was a good concept because it was looser, like you said. I'm kind of ragging about the playlist stuff, but like I could see songs like Work, like you said, being on like gym playlists, obviously. Skate, like we've been talking about, I could see that being like a TikTok song, in the next month or two. Like, TikTok's got a weird way with pushing songs. Yeah, I think he's got another crossover to mainstream type of track on here. We got 15 tracks, man. It's 60 minutes worth. I feel like he's got something on here that's going to blow. It's just a matter of time. So overall, very solid project. Great follow-up to the Forever story. It was a needed vibe shift from what we had previously. And I'm glad he got all these people on here. Some new, some old. Meribah was one of my favorites on here, even though it was a slower track. Loved Sandstorm back in the day. That was a single that they did together. They're a great
duo.
Glad that he's not leaving people behind. Everybody's coming with him. You want to get into top 3 tracks?
Yeah, let's do it. DeadLeigh, since we get into it, we wrapping this up. What's your top 3 tracks, man?
Man, I'm going to have to go with Glory first and foremost. I just really liked what he was doing on that, the way that he's able to deliver that kind of energy, but still keep it clean and work with the choir like that. Like, I thought that was really dope. My number 2, I'm probably going to have to do VCRs with Vince Staples. Vince Staples, surprise feature like we was talking about, but he's excellent, man. He's perfect. He delivers exactly what you need him to every single time. And then my last one, we're gonna skip the features. I'm just gonna go for 4 Keeps. That was my favorite beat build of the entire project, and I just felt like the way that sample work hit and the way that that's how you close out the album. That's what I needed right there. So that's my 3. What about you, Ray? What about you? What do you got, bro?
My 3, my first one, Community with Clips. Love that track. Instantly went on the playlist. Number 2, I'm gonna go different. I'm gonna pick Skate. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but that song has been in my head ever since I heard it a few times. I just think, I don't know, it gets me grooving, So I like to be happy every once in a while, And then my number 3, I'm gonna go VCRs too. I think VCRs was a dope track. Either that or on McAfee.
Okay. Yep. I mean, both crazy. Great album to talk about. Thank you so much to JID and all the collaborators for this project. We wouldn't be here without y'all. Other people, we wouldn't be here without you, the viewer who's watching. You made it to this part of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Help us out a little bit, maybe like it, comment, subscribe. We just want to keep doing this. This is one of my favorite parts of the week. Always looking forward to it. Thank you to my gracious co-host, Ray. You're one of one. And I'm going to let you take it away.
Thank you. Shout out to DeadLeigh, as usual. You know what's up. You know what it is. Always love. To everyone listening, appreciate you as always. To the artists, to the producers, to the engineers, to the labels. Making sure this package came out as polished as it did and well put together. Thank you. Yeah, man, keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. I know you like to take breaks, but keep it rolling, man, because I feel like, especially, you find ways to make hits naturally. If you keep it rolling, they'll keep popping up, man. So, and I would like to hear more people hyping up your stuff. I mean, people already do it, but it'd be dope to see more casual listeners, I would say, do it more consistently. But with that being said,
peace.